Hey y'all, and welcome back. I am here with another book haul for you. We're going to be talking about my book haul from Book Outlet, Thrift Books, and Better World Books. I am so excited for this. If y'all have watched my recent video, I'll link it up above. It is about comparing these three book retailers, and so I actually hauled a few more books that I needed because of course I wanted to get free shipping, and who doesn't love to buy more books? So I'm going to just be sharing about them. I don't know that when I went through this I actually told about the books, so I will be sharing all of the books that I purchased, even books for that video, so you can hear more about what the book is about, more about the series, or whatever else. So let's just get into it. The first one that I'm going to go with is books that we've all seen in this previous video. It was Better World Books. I only purchased 3, and it was the 3 books for that because it came with free shipping. But I just want to talk about these books because it's fun to talk about books. So the first one is Harbor Lights by Cheryl Woods. This is the 3rd book in the Chesapeake Shores series. I think you probably could read them out of order. I'm reading them in order, so it's kind of cool because in the last book we get to learn a little bit more about Kevin, which is one of the O'Brien family members. He is the son or brother of the other main characters that we have read about. So in Harbor Lights, Kevin has become a single father and he is really struggling, so he moves back to Chesapeake Shores, which is in Maryland, to get the help of his family and his support network. And then of course when he moves back, he runs into, I think it's the bookshop owner, and they are going to fall in love because this is a romance series and it's just super sweet. I am hoping that I'm going to love the romance in this one. I did not really like the one in the last book. The romance, I wanted to yell at the characters, so I'm hoping that I'm gonna like this more. And I'm really excited to dive further into the O'Brien family because they are one of the best book families that I have ever read about. The next book from Book Outlet is Robin Carr's A Virgin River Christmas. This is the Virgin River series, and it is book 4. I believe it's book 4 in the series. So in this book, we are going to find out more about the Marines. This is about Ian, who has moved to Virgin River because he is emotionally broken after his time in war and he just needs to get away. So Virgin River is the perfect place for that, except that Marcy has been trying to get in contact with him. So when she finally tracks him down to Virgin River, she starts to worm her way into his life, and I think it's going to be a romance too because this series seems to be romance as well. This sounds like it's going to be very interesting. I think it's going to take place at Christmas since it's in the title, but it doesn't really say on here, so I will be excited to get to this one. I'm not as far into this series as I am with others. The last book from Better World Books is Jill Chavez's Sweet Little Lies. This is part of the Heartbreakers series. It is actually book 1. I have been reading this series out of order because I wanted to read the Christmas books last Christmas. So I started with those, and I'm going back to 1 to finish up this series. This book is about Prue, who I think is new to the San Francisco Bay Area. She loves her apartment and she loves the area, but she is not comfortable on dry land. She is a captain and she can handle the rough seas, but when it comes to navigating life on land, she is a little bit less steady. So as she starts making friends, she meets Finn O'Reilly, and there is an accident with darts and Finn becomes shirtless or something. I'm not really sure. This sounds so interesting, but I think it heats up from there. And so if this book is like any of the others, it is going to be hot and heavy and a great read. So I'm excited to get to this one. That is all of the books from Better World Books. I don't know why that doesn't come out easily for me. So that's all. We will move on to Thrift Books now. So from Thrift Books, The first book is Through the Grinder by Cleo Coyle. This is the second book in the Coffee House series, or Coffee House Mystery. It is a cozy mystery series about Claire, who is a coffee house owner in New York City. In this book, Claire's customers keep turning up dead, and the detective in town is looking at the new man in Claire's life as a potential suspect. So Claire, of course, has to investigate to figure out if she has given her heart to the wrong person. So this is really interesting. I loved the first one, and I'm excited to see what Claire is going to get up to next in this book. I also love how short these are. They're very short reads, so that's pretty nice. The next book that I bought from Thrift Books is Joanne Fluke's Carrot Cake Murder. This is, I'm not even sure what number in the Hannah Swenson series. This is the next one that I needed, though. I think it's like 9 or 10. I don't remember. For Carrot Cake Murder, we are joining Lisa, who is Hannah Swenson's cookie jar partner. Lisa is having a huge family reunion, and her uncle Gus, who hasn't been seen in like 25 years, is attending this family reunion, and Hannah is going all out. She is baking her carrot cake for Lisa's reunion, and everything is going well until the carrot cake is found icing side down on the floor, and Uncle Gus has a ice pick in his chest. Of course, Hannah finds the body, and I'm sure there will be a lot of investigating from there. I always love these series. You can always rely on delicious recipes and funny entertainment for these books. The last book that I purchased from Thrift Books is Slightly South of Simple by Christy Woodson Harvey. This, I believe, is a Peachtree Bluff series. I think this is the first book in the series, but I could be mistaken. I was looking at a lot of her books when I was browsing around Thrift Books, but this one is about a mother and 3 daughters. So it takes place in Peachtree Bluff, and Caroline, one of the daughters, is having some trouble with her New York life, and as things get worse, she decides to move back home with her daughter to Peachtree Bluff to stay with her mom, and as she moves back in, 2 other daughters move in as well, and the mother, I think her name is Ansley, she's having some trouble dealing with all of her daughters coming back home, and during this time, a person from her past also comes into her life, and it sounds like it's in threat of revealing secrets to her daughters. So I'm really intrigued by this, and I'm really excited to try one of Christy Woodson Harvey's books. I've never read her, but she has done like social media events with some of my other favorite authors, so I'm really excited to dive into this. I think it has good reviews, so I will definitely let y'all know what I think about this once I get to read it. So that was the last Thrift Books book. So let's move on to Book Outlet. I got quite a few books from here. The first book from Book Outlet is Look For Me by Lisa Gardner. This is the next book in the series where I'm currently at. I don't remember the number of the books, like what number it is in the actual series, but this is the next one that I needed. So for this book, a family is gunned down in their home, and the only survivor is the daughter, who happened to take the 2 family dogs out a little earlier before the shooting happened. Dee Dee Warren is on the scene for this, as well as the previous character from the last book, Flora Dane. The daughter is still missing, and so they must fight the clock in order to find the daughter and keep looking for the clues that she has left. It also sounds like the daughter might be a suspect because she left right before the rest of her family was murdered. So these books always keep you on the edge of your seat and questioning what is going to happen next. So I will definitely keep y'all updated on what is going on in this series and how I like this book. The next book from Book Outlet is Almost Just Friends by Jill Chavez. This is the next book in the Wildstone series. This is about Piper. She has raised her siblings and is fixing up the cottage or house that her grandparents have left her, and she just needs to sell it, and then she will be free of everything from her past, except there is a storm and she runs into a male character. I think his name is Cam, and he of course is tall, dark, and handsome like all of the male characters in Jill Chavez's books. And then her siblings come back home with secrets, and this puts Piper into a flurry of activities, and of course there's going to be romance and everything that is wonderful about Jill Chavez's books. So this is definitely going to be high on my TBR to read soon because I love the romance in her books. Okay, so now we're moving on to the other books from Book Outlet that weren't for the previous video. So I kind of forgot what I bought, so this will be a surprise for me as well. So the first book is by Mary Kay Andrews, and it is called Little Bitty Lies. So in this book, the main character, Mary Bliss, lives in a Atlanta neighborhood where divorce is running rampant, and she thinks that her marriage is fine until her husband leaves a note saying that he is running off, and he's running off with the family fortune, which then leaves Mary Bliss in a mountain of debt with her 17-year-old daughter, and she decides to tell one little bitty lie just to get by, but that snowballs, and it turns up with her husband showing up dead. So that is quite the kicker, and definitely makes you want to pick up this book. I love Mary Kay Andrews, and I bet this one is going to be quite thrilling. So perfect summer read right here. The next book that I got, I was banking on the fact that I was going to really enjoy the first Christy Woodson Harvey book, and I got The Southern Side of Paradise. We are back with Ainsley in Peachtree Bluff, and for this book, Ainsley has everything going for her and life is going great, as well as for her youngest daughter Emerson, who just landed a acting gig as well as got engaged, but something is going on and Ainsley just doesn't feel right about it. Also, there are two new women who move back into Peachtree Bluff, and they each hold a secret that could kind of upturn Ainsley and Emerson's life. So it sounds like this is going to be a fun drama that looks like the perfect beach read. I mean, who could say no to this at the beach? So this next book is one that I have never heard of, nor have I heard of the author. I might just be in the dark about this because she could be very popular, and I just like to read backlist books. So the next book is The Trouble with Lexi by Jessica Anya Blau. I think that's how you say it. For this one, Lexi has had a rough time growing up. She escapes her alcoholic father. She gets kicked out of her mother's apartment, but she makes it on her own. She goes through school and gets a master's degree, where she then becomes a counselor at a school. It sounds like it's like a prestigious academy, as well as gets the perfect relationship, and her life is going perfectly where everything is in order. But as her wedding date nears to her perfect fiance, she just doesn't feel right about things, so she befriends one of the fathers of her students at this academy, and from there things just start to blow up. And it says that when she befriends this father, let me just read you the last sentence because this is what really drew me into this book. It says, "It's a relationship that blows Lexi's carefully constructed life and then dunks her into shocking situations with headline-worthy trouble." So that is the line that like totally got me hooked and wanting to buy this book. So I'm really hoping that it delivers. Again, I haven't heard anything about this author. I haven't heard of this title. It was just basically because it was suggested on Book Outlet and I thought that sounded super interesting, so I will be sure to review this once I get to this book. So this next book is another one where I haven't heard of the author and I haven't heard anything about this title, but I love to give books a chance, especially when they sound like they're going to be a really cute romance, and this is what this next one sounds like. It is The Happy Camper by Melody Carlson. This book is about Dylan, who has had a disappointing career and a love life that is going nowhere, so when her grandfather is in need of help back home in Oregon on his farm, she moves back there. Although when she gets there, she finds that her eccentric mother has gotten there first and has moved into her old bedroom. So after sleeping on the sagging couch, Dylan decides that is enough, but she is gifted with a little camping trailer that she has resigned to fix up with the help of the local hardware store owner, who sounds like he's going to be pretty handsome in my opinion, and everything is going pretty well. She is becoming a happy camper, that is until her ex-boyfriend from the city shows up with flowers and a ring, and that is also kind of what drew me in, just like the fun what's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be a fun romance that will be perfect for reading this summer or fall, so I look forward to getting to read this one. The last book that I got from Book Outlet, I was really banking on liking this series by Christy Woodson Harvey, and that is The Secret to Southern Charm, which I believe is the third book in the series. I think I ordered them 1, 2, and 3. I tend to do that, to order a series without even knowing if I like it, so I probably should do a little bit more research, read the first book, something like that. But I loved the covers of these books and I'm really thinking that I'm going to love them. They just sound so cute and fun. So we are back with Ainsley and her middle daughter Sloane, whose husband is missing in action in the military, and Sloane is really in need of help. She is struggling, and so Ainsley has gone to help Sloane and her grandson, Sloane's son. She's also having to take care of her own aging mother, and as things start really getting bad, the other two siblings come, Emerson and Caroline, and help remind Sloane that she made a promise to her husband to make sure to keep going for their son. As Sloane starts to feel better, Ainsley, who has been worried about this secret and her past, also starts to feel some comfort as well. So I am excited. I'm really curious. So these 3 books have talked a lot about secrets, so I'm very curious what this secret is and when we will find out what the secret is, because books that have secrets just tend to be very mysterious and very fun to read. So I am excited to read this series. I feel like this series is going to be one that I'm going to pick up this summer, just because they sound like very fun summer books. And again, I will definitely let you know as I start to finish series. I will continue to pick up new series. So, of course, you will get all of the book scoops on Sundays for our Sunday book review, but I hope that you have enjoyed this book haul, and I will see y'all again soon. Bye, guys.